Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Namah Parvati, Pataye, Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sitsabesa, Sivasidambaram, Tenarude Sivane, Putri and Natavarkum, Ireva, Putri, Thiruchitrambalam. Idakkum Makade in Tamil Chayula, in Atakum, Main, Makarul, Sayida, Tatake, Aindude, Tal Sevi, Nil Mudi, Katakalichai, Karutul Lirituvam. உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து போதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுபான் மலசிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவான். சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேறிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மே தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறை செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த சீர் திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் இவை தரச் செய்த நாள்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே. தில்லை வாழந்த நிறை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொலையதான் திருத்தொண்ட தொகைடியார் பதம் போற்றி உலையவர் புராணகதை உலகறிய விரித்துரைத்த செல்வபலி குன்றத்தூர் சேக்கிழாரடி போற்றி. ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் அணிவோம். பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் வந்து கூடிடுமே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear devotees, welcome back to the Periyapuranam Discourse series with the blessings of the Almighty Lord Shiva. Today we are here to think through the wonderful history of Shri Chaththi Nayanar and Shri Iyadigal Kadavarkon Nayanar. Let me bow my head to the lotus feet of Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal and also to the 57th Pontiff of Gunamatti Kalyanapuri Adina Shri Guru Mahasanidanam, Shri Rajasarana Manikavasaka Swamigal as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead and get started with the history of Shri Chaththi Nayanar. Shri Chaththi Nayanar belonged to the family of farmers and lived in a place called Varinjayur. He was a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva, and he was also very valorous. He was quite steeped in his devotion to Lord Shiva and also to serve the devotees of Lord Shiva. He would not pardon anyone indulging in insulting Shiva or his devotees. That was Nayanar's service. In 63 Nayanmar history, we've come across most of them. We have seen each Nayanmar followed a specific way of worshipping Lord Shiva, pretty much in alignment with their profession. But Chaththi Nayanar had a different service. He just would not pardon anyone indulging in insulting Shiva or his devotees, and he would punish them, the wrongdoers. He would cut their tongues off and holding it tight with pincers. And that weapon is called Satthi. So he got the name Chaththi Nayanar. So it may sound odd to some of you. Why? If someone just criticizes someone and immediately will cut the tongue off? Or what is that? How is it allowed? While the criticism would always help in the development of the society and religious practices, we welcome that. But thoughtless blasphemy is something that should be condemned. And it also gives the people an unforgivable sin. So in fact, Nayanar clearly set the stage for the rest of the world not to insult Shiva and his devotees. So he sent a clear warning signal by his service not to malign Shiva devotees in any way, though especially the devotees who are on their way to reach the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So he continued this service of protecting the fame of Shiva devotees with his valor throughout his life. And finally, Nayanar reached the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. And it's a pretty small Purana in Periyapuranam. We have only a few songs, but that's pretty much it. He would not pardon anyone indulging in insulting Shiva. He would punish them by cutting off their tongue. That was his service. Then Nayanar reached the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So let the valor and love of Sakti Nayanar for Lord Shiva stay in our mind forever. That's pretty much about Sakti Nayanar history. The next Nayanar that we're going to think through today is the great Iyadigal Kadavarkon Nayanar. One city that is renowned throughout India for its intellectuals, institutions, and ingenious artwork is Kanchipuram, the capital of Tondai Nadu, Pallavas as well, Pallava Empire, capital of Pallava Empire. Kanchipuram is very, very auspicious for us. The city has 108 Shiva temples within the city limit itself. It's so auspicious to us. That's where goddess Kamakshi Devi came all the way from Kailash and did Shiva Puja under the mango tree for Ekambreshwara. So goddess set the path for all living beings in this world to do Shiva Puja in that holy land. So Iyadigal Kadavarkon Nayanar was from this holy land. He was the emperor of Pallavas. So, as the king of the Pallava land, he conquered the excess of Kali in the sense the bad things in this world, and the enemies as well. So he ruled the land with his upright royal stick of justice. Justice in the sense, justice of Lord Shiva, justice of Shaivism. With the wealth and fame, with every life in the land sitting pride and peaceful, with the poles of enmities won over and the justice prevailing, with great Shaivism spreading across the country, along with the knowledge of holy Vedas as well, because Nayanar ruled the land. Nayanar was a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva, and he ruled over the entire Pallava kingdom. At the same time, he was ruled over by the divine grace of Lord Shiva. He was very well versed in arts, science, languages like Tamil and Sanskrit, and he could compose Venba in Tamil, rich in its words as well as its meaning. He encouraged the growth of all three forms of Tamil, which we usually say Iyal, Isai, Nadagam, prose, music, and drama. So Nayanar was ruling the Pallava kingdom. A desire rose in him to visit all the abodes of Lord Shiva and completely dedicate his life by serving the Lord and his devotees. And he could do that in peace only when he freed himself from the commitments and duties of king. So here's the important point, devotees. The king felt the royal crown was a hurdle and burden in serving the Lord Shiva. And he wanted to salute the Lord, singing his fame, rather than holding the crown and ruling the world. He gave up his royal throne. He actually made his son as the next king and set off to serve the Lord in the way he always wanted to. He went to the abodes of Lord Shiva and song, and he composed amazing verses, which is called Kshetravanba. It has 24 wonderful verses praising the Lord Shiva in chaste Tamil. And I would strongly recommend, when you get a chance, do go through Chetravanba, composed by Shri Iyadigal Kadavarkon Nayanar. It is in 11th Tirumurai of Shaivam. And in Chetravanba, Nayanar emphasized how volatile this world and human life are. It's a volatile life. Nothing stays stable in this world. And also the body and everything that we see in this world. Nothing stays stable. So he emphasized that in all the phrases with some live example. Some live example. So I would encourage you, please do go through that Kshetra, recite that. That will give us Shivanyana. So Nayanar continued to worship many, many holy places across Tamil Nadu, and he received the blessings of Lord Shiva, and finally he merged himself with the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. The world where there is neither birth or death, none other than Kailash. Nayanar breaks the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. That's pretty much about Iyadigal Kadavarkon Nayanar history. One big lesson learned from this history is that Nayanar gave up his royal crown. And you could relate this to what we learned in Sri Kalaritirva Puranam. Kalaritirva Nayanar, at the very young age itself, when he was 5, 6, 7 itself, he realized that nothing stays stable in this world. And he had no desire to lead the life of prince and king. He gave everything. He went to Thiruchitrambalam and he formed a mud and he lived there serving Anjaikalatappa, the Lord of Thiruchitrambalam, every day. We could relate the same with Iyadigal Kadavarkon Nayanar history as well. That's how our Shaiva kings have been. They have shown us a path to live. So we focus on what's stable in this world. The only thing that is stable in this whole world is the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. We need to get a hold of those feet, not the carnal pleasure and the volatile wealth and power that we have in this world. So that's pretty much about Iyadigal Kadavarkon Nayanar history. We will continue this session next week. We're going to be covering two other Nayanmar's history in the next class. Thiruchitrambalam என்ற மின்பம் பெருக மேல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளம் மூங்கிட மன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகள் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி உலகலாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹரஹர நம பார்வதி பதே ஹரஹர மகாதேவா. செத் சபேசா சிவசிதம்பரம். தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி, நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். திருநீலகண்டம்.